Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be with all of you today. I apologize that I wasn't able to make it in person. Something came up and I couldn't attend the session. But either way, it's great to be here with you guys asynchronously, and I'm here to answer all of your questions. So, going off of those, what was the process like for me? I would definitely say that the process was a challenging one. I had lots of different obstacles, starting with not knowing what the process would look like. And so I know it can seem daunting. There's lots of different schools. You start saying, okay, so how do I narrow the list down? How do I know what I want to study? So for me, the approach was definitely looking first at what I was interested, and knowing, of course, that it wasn't written in stone, that it could change, but just looking at different schools, then looking at different scholarships that were available, just looking at all these different opportunities, thinking more than just a name and more than just a Ivy League or anything like that, thinking how I would grow, where I would be able to find the most opportunities, where I would be able to reach my goals, that I had 5 years from then, 10 years from then. So it was definitely writing a lot of essays. It was definitely a lot of introspection, looking at myself and saying, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What do I want to do? It was definitely a process where I learned a lot about myself. Um, and so it really helped me to stand out as a student and a future healthcare professional. So some of the things that I did to strengthen my application were just looking back at everything I had done and trying to find something meaningful, because at this point I had worked for about 4 years now in high school, right? And I had all these different clubs, I had all these different activities, um, but it just wasn't enough to name them and say, oh, I was in HOSA, I went to SLC. It was really important to look really deep into it and see, okay, so how did I grow? What is something that you wouldn't really be expecting from SLC? Something that maybe revolutionized what you thought, or something where you were able to find a new passion for something, or you were able to show mercy or passion. Those were really the things that fueled my essays, as well as describing any obstacles that I had going through high school and showing how I was able to grow from them. For me, applying as a premier wasn't that big of a difference. I think for most schools, I just checked the box that said I would like to be a premier. So it wasn't really that difficult. But I think out of the applications, the heaviest part for me were the essays, just trying to see. And I think um, going a little bit more into how the college application process works, those are among the most important, if not the most important, because I know that all of you are very accomplished students. All you have great grades and lots of extracurricular activities, but so does everybody else who's applying to top schools. And so you need to put yourself in the shoes of an admissions officer. Um, it just has like this stack of essays and it's going through them, and they're all basic. All the candidates in numbers and charts, they all basically look the same. Many of them have done HOSA, many of them have done speech competitions and show amazing grades and amazing GPA, AP scores. But it is through the essays that they are able to see your essence and who you are. And if you're able to successfully portray it, you may have someone who's just tired of going through that stack of essays say like, oh, I'd like to know this person. Sounds like an interesting person to get to know, and I want this person at my school. So I think it is definitely important to do a lot of introspection. If you're not a senior yet, I would heavily recommend keeping a journal. That is something that I wish I had while I was going through the process, because there's just so much happens, and having a journal would have been amazingly helpful. I am currently in UT Dallas. As you guys saw, I am pursuing a biochemistry major, a pre-med track, and I have become involved with research. I'm currently in a lab that researches antibiotic resistance in pathogens. And so I think for me, when I was looking at schools, it was important that I would be able to get those opportunities, and more than looking at the name or the prestige, I really looked at where I'd be able to get the most opportunities and where I would be able to grow the most, have a more than anything an amazing support from the university, the program. And so I think once you go through the application process and you start deciding, that is really important to look at. So once again, I apologize I wasn't able to make it in person today. Um, but if he has my phone number, I have also sent her my email. So if you guys have any questions, if you're more interested into what I do, please feel free to text me or send me an email. I'd be more than happy to reply, talk to any of you guys. Good luck with everything. And also one last thing, I really admire you for everything that you're doing through this pandemic. I can only imagine how hard it must be to enter high school if you're a senior graduating, trying to figure all this out online. So kudos to you. You're doing amazing, and just keep going strong. Have a great day.